Well, it was a splendid little break. Oh, look at that, some more bikes over there, look at that. So is that a Harley or some sort of Suzuki? Or I'm not very good with cruisers, I really must sort that out. I don't mean the green one. Well, excellent little coffee stop there. As I mentioned, the coffee here is very good indeed. No complaints there. So we're off now for another hour or so towards Ptuj, P-T-U-J. I've already forgotten how Momo pronounced it again. He's told me about 4 times. Ptuj. And yeah, starting to get busy here with tourists now. I suppose that's Saturday for you. It's starting to feel pretty hot. Let's get some airflow going. 28 degrees according to my onboard temperature. Right, we've got the boys behind us. So Ptuj, where we're heading now is, I think this is the one that Momo was saying is the oldest town in Slovenia. So that sounds good. And Martin was saying that the roads start to open up a bit and might get a bit busier. And then of course later on when we get to Austria and the Alps, it'll be alpine twisty stuff. So something for everyone today. Just look how clean and tidy it is here everywhere. It's just perfectly manicured everywhere. Interesting roundabout. So one of the things that I have noticed is a lack of speed limit signs. So I was talking to Martin earlier about this, and he was saying that the speed is dictated by the little signs you see entering and exiting villages. You may have seen some orange signs with borders on. And I think the way it works is if it's an orangey yellow sign with no border, then it's 30 kilometres an hour. If it's got an orange border around the sign, then it's 50. And if there are no signs, like now when we're outside of towns, I think he said it was 90 kilometres an hour. And the police are pretty hot on speed limits here, so given Martin does know what the speed limits are, I should just follow him at his speed and hopefully we'll be good. But he was saying statistically Slovenia is one of the safest places to live in Europe and has a very, very low crime rate. And therefore the police don't have much to do except stand in villages and catch people speeding. So if you do come out here on your own bike, just be aware they are hot on speeding here. Having said that, look, there's a sign, an actual speed limit sign. I think that's the first one I've seen. 60k here. And of course it is in kilometres an hour, not miles an hour, so you have to sort of calibrate your brain if you're a UK rider and you're used to operating in miles an hour. Well, this is a splendid way to be spending my weekend, I must say. Anyway, I'll tell you a little story, one of those weird quirks of internet fate. I was talking to Pete at the coffee stop, and he was saying that the reason they met Martin, he and Momo, is because they saw one of my videos when I was doing the trip in the Canary Islands. They went out and did a tour, got talking to Martin obviously, in the Canary Islands, told him about the hotel that they run and the fact that they were bikers, and that's how they all kind of hooked up and now got into this joint venture for the Slovenia motorcycle tours. So isn't that amazing? How good is that? I'm chuffed about that. It's amazing when you hear these little things, these little one thing leads to another. And you know, if it wasn't for going out, me making those videos, then they wouldn't now be doing these tours in Slovenia. So that's absolutely brilliant. Love that sort of thing. Oh, amazing plants on the balconies and in the boxes, window boxes there. Gorgeous place. This really is chocolate box perfect around here. Can't get over the prices of that coffee stop. We all had a drink there and it was €6 for the 4 of us. Just unbelievable. I recently came back from my family holidays, which was in the US, and there it would cost you the equivalent of €6 for one coffee. So much more a value for money destination, this. And you don't have to sit on a plane for 14 hours to get here. Not that I've got anything against the US, just saying. So we're on a slightly more major road now. which means there's good and bad news. The good news is the road surface is much better now than those more rural roads we were on earlier. Nice and smooth around here. Bad news is there's a bit more traffic, but that's fine with me. I'm all for these leisurely rides, just taking in these cracking views. Just noticed for oldie and little fans, they're called Hoffer here, look. I don't know which one that was, but it's one of those two. Presumably oldie and or little means something different in Slovenian. Right, Martin, I think we're going to have to do a bit of overtaking here, mate. Tractor stops play. It's got a nice amount of shove on this Honda V4 when you open her up. So we've turned off that major road now as we head up towards Ptuj, Ptuj. And again, for a Saturday, it just seems so quiet everywhere. What a treat. Feels like we're starting to gain a little bit of height. Yet the temperature continues to rise. It's 27 now, which is fine by me, because back in Blighty they're having one of those funny weekends. Even though I'm recording this in August, they're in the grips of a big autumnal low pressure, and something like 18 degrees at home, but they're having 50-mile-an-hour winds and lightning and rain and brimstone and general yuckiness. Whereas out here, further at the eastern end of Europe, things are absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. Well, there's another church perched right at the top of the hill up there. I don't suppose you can see that in the GoPro, but it's way up there. What a pain for parishioners to go up there on a Sunday morning. A couple of serious looking cyclists. And it's a big uphill drag, so I think I'd opt for the version with the engine on any time. I must say, one of the things I do love about this sort of tour, I mean, in the main I'm not a big fan of riding in groups, and here I am in a group of 4 of us. Although, to be fair, 4 of you is not too bad. It's more big groups that I don't like riding in, when there's like, you know, 10 plus. 4 is a manageable number. And on these particular trips, in fact, Martin, I don't think does any more than 4 on a tour, so it's always going to be a small group. But what I was going to say, the great thing about these sort of guided tours is you just don't have to worry about anything. And if I was doing this ride, I'd be worried about, number one, am I finding the right routes? Are these the best roads to ride? Whereas, of course, the tour company have sorted all that out in advance. They know the best places to go. And then you just don't have to worry about navigation. You're not glued to a sat-nav. You just sit back and enjoy the ride. And that's where these tours with a guide really come into their own. Certainly starting to get a bit more twisty now as we're climbing up the mountain. Cracking views keep coming. This is the sort of riding you don't get in Buckinghamshire. Another thing I've noticed they don't tend to have on the roads here, along with speed limit signs, is signs telling you which road you're on. I've not seen any road numbers, so that's why I haven't been showing you the map and telling you exactly where we are. All I can tell you is we are heading to Ptuj, but on which road exactly, I don't know, because it didn't tell you on the signs, or at least not that I've seen. What is that on there? 432, in fact, perhaps that's it. It does show you, but they're very small signs. They're not as in your face as ones elsewhere in Europe. If it is the 432, it's certainly a lovely road. I'll tell you what, this would be a cracking ride on my Royal Enfield. Just lazily coming through these verdant valleys. It's the sort of riding I like. Just look at this road. It's smooth, it's twisty. It's not so twisty that it's hard work, but it's just nice open bends. No traffic to speak of. Oh, there's 2 cars. But pretty much perfect riding territory. And suddenly we're through the mountainous part, and we've come down into this big plain. And amazing smells down here, as usual. I wish there was a bit of smell-o-vision, because I'm actually catching a whiff of, well, it smells like lavender every now and then, but I can't actually see it. Interesting looking at the sort of croppage they have around here. These on the left here, and the right, in fact, up here. Not sure what that is, whether that looks like sugarcane or something like that. I think that's what that is. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. See one or two vineyards around as well. So obviously winemaking is a bit of a thing. And behind, cheeky overtake. Every corner we turn, another church comes into view. My stomach is starting to tell me it might be lunchtime soon. It's not though. It's only 10 to 11. It'll be a while yet before our lunch stop, I imagine. Oh well, it's good to be hungry. Hello sir, I do love the old European left-handed wave thing you do. Always amuses me whenever I'm riding a bike on the right-hand side of the road, which, let's face it, most of the world does, so it won't be a novelty to many of me viewers. Well, I'm thinking about food. Breakfast this morning was cracking, by the way. I mentioned Momo's the chef at the hotel as well, and he rustled me up some amazing poached eggs. Not something that is used to making, it turns out. I thought poached egg was fairly common fare across the world, but turns out not. But for something he wasn't used to making, it was absolutely lovely. I'll try and get my camera down to breakfast one morning, because you can have basically whatever you want. And it's a pretty full-on affair. If you want a major-sized breakfast every day, then that's certainly on offer. Would you believe Martin? I'm not making any comment here on his appetite. He had 6 eggs this morning and bacon. That's a whole box. And why not? Nothing behind. So if the signage is to be believed, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be, then we've just got into the outskirts of Ptuj, P-T-U-J. Ptuj. I'm just not convinced I'm saying that right. So I'm not sure if we're going to be stopping here or going through the centre of town, but let's see what this has got to offer. Well, one thing it has got is a pretty imposing looking building on that hill. Is it a castle? I assume you could call that a castle, really, yes. Looks quite modern though, but it's got turrets. So it's on a hill and it's got turrets. In my book, that's a castle. And also a church with a very interesting spire again. Seems to be a bit of a feature of Slovenia. How's it looking? Centre, that sounds like us. Just waiting for the chaps to catch up. They got caught in a bit of traffic at that junction. Yeah, they're behind us. Oh, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Check out this river. Massive. Once again, I'm just struck with how clean everywhere is and tidy. I guess that's a function of having a smaller population. They're not creating so much mess like they do in the UK all the time. Once again, I'm glad Martin knows where he's going. How cool is this? Looks like our sort of parking spot.
I also have a gift for Andy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're top man. I'm
not
liking more and more all the time.
I'm not sure how much space you have in your.
Well, how big is it?
It's not big.
Oh, I'm going off you again. What I need is a battery for a GoPro. I'm sure in my bag's within a bag.
Which camera uses more batteries? The old one or the new one?
Annoyingly, they all use different batteries, don't they? So
Yeah, I know.
I'm on the batteries for the 4 I'm looking for.
You think, Martin, to walk a bit?
Yeah, it's a little town centre up here, Memo. It's very
Sounds good
nice.
to me. Here we go. Quick bit of faffage, Martin.
Okay.
I think picture the bike actually, don't you?
Yes.
Picture with
yes, and maybe Maybe David in the background.
We'll call him David. Or should we call him Pete? We'll decide.
This city was a capital of cultural 2000 European.
You got to move in a bit.
Oh,
There you go, that'll be perfect. Real. Of course, I want a thumbnail that people are going to click on, so maybe we'll do another one now without you in it. Right, so we made it to what we call Ptuj.
Ptuj.
But what Momo calls
Yes, Ptuj.
Ptuj. How can I remember that? I mean, it's not hard, is it? Ptuj.
No, it's a little word for a British person that we'll always struggle with.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's because it's not spelled as it sounds to us.
No.
That's why, yeah. I'd spell it P-A-T-O-U-E-I for Ptuj.
I
Wouldn't you?
thought there was only 4 letters in it.
Yeah, well, that's how I would spell it, not how everybody, not how Slovenians spell it. Anyway, but oh look, there's some TV going on. Must be something.
TV.
That's because the new
What they do?
they
Oh,
sent
right.
out a couple of emails that the TMF was around in Ptuj this morning. So here you go.
And they play folk music national.
Oh, looks like there's something good happening. Is that what that is?
Oh,
That's my sort of vehicle.
listen to Shvidons.
We're just in time for a rehearsal. Nice and shady, why not? To get ready for something here.
Council house is here.
Okay.
Municipal.
I got you, yeah. So like a town hall, we would call it. Yeah.
You're not taping this. Eat me eating ice cream as well. I'm on my day.
Yeah, well, this is probably the low calorie stuff though, I imagine.
Yes, I thought so. Yeah.
Seems like just the right thing for this temperature. Mango Tango, that sounds like you.
I'm gonna have a mango.
Yep.
I'm gonna have
What about Schwarzwald?
this.
Jogodnisvet. I think that looks like strawberry thing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That is the best bourbon keks I've ever had.
Mówisz to tulem popróbuj.
That's good.
We just want to compare sides.
Ah, yes.
And now should we compare size?
Yes.
And therein lies a story.
Am I the only one having a large one?
You didn't have biscuit underpants. You've gone wrong.
So it is €7, please.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Just
Just to show people.
thank you very much. Cheers.
Not everybody's free.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. We will. Can I be bourbon keks back? Thank you very much. Thank you. €7. What a bargain. Wise idea. Man, this bike's heavy to shift around.
I think I'm short, but when I sit on this bike, I feel like
yeah, exactly. Right then. So that was Ptuj. Great little ice cream stop there. Thoroughly recommend that if you ever find yourself in the area. Definitely worth going there to Ptuj. And that was Ptuj is in fact the, as I mentioned, the oldest town or oldest city in Slovenia apparently. And on the hill there is indeed a castle. An incredible river. Yeah, nice scenery all around. Anyway, so now we're off to Maribor, which is just off to the north, not too far away. And that's where we're planning, or hoping, if we can, to get the chairlift at the ski resort up to the top. And sounds like there might be a bit of a view. And also, Martin keeps threatening a go on the like toboggan thing, which sounds a bit frightening to me, but anyway, and he's fairly dead set on having a bit of a race. But I think that's why he had that massive ice cream. He's looking for the gravitational advantage. I mean, frankly, if I don't brake the whole way, I'm still not going to be able to catch a man of that size and athletic ability. Anyway, let's go and see what Maribor has to offer. Man, it's getting properly hot now out here. Fearsomely so. I don't know if you can see the temperature there, look. On the gauge, 37 it's saying now. And I think that's hot in anyone's language. We've got to drink this in because I I don't think I shall be seeing 37 again this year anyway. Certainly not in Blighty, that's for sure.